We start tonight with continuing coverage on the death of Micah Miller, the estranged wife of John Paul Miller, former pastor at the Solid Rock Church in Myrtle Beach. This week, the Robeson County Sheriff's Office, they released a timeline of what happened the day Micah died by a self-inflicted gunshot wound at the Lumber River State Park. Now tonight, the man who reported hearing Micah crying and the sound of a gunshot at that state park is sharing how his character is now under attack. He says it's destroying his life, and he wants the baseless attacks that he's seeing on social media to stop. He talked with ABC 15's Tanya Brown. She joins us now live from the Robeson County Sheriff's Office in Lumberton.
Andrew, the fisherman says he never thought fully cooperating with the police investigation and telling the whole truth and nothing but the truth would lead to him being unfairly targeted on social media. I met 55-year-old Johnny Jacobs today at an undisclosed location in Robeson County. He didn't want me to show his face because he's concerned for his safety after being bashed and targeted on social media.
It's like putting my life in danger with some of the things that's been said.
Jacobs tells me he'd been fishing for several hours on April 27th at the Lumber River State Park when he heard a faint cry. He says 2 or 3 minutes later, he heard a gunshot.
I said, oh my God, don't tell me, because the crying had stopped. I said, don't tell me something's happened, don't tell me something. I was getting ready to get out of there. Another 3 people came into the lake on a boat, and I plainly asked them, I said, did y'all hear that gunshot? They said yes.
Jacob says he couldn't see anything because of all the trees blocking his view.
This here's the park, of course. This is where I put my boat in at.
He showed me a map on his phone of the Lumber River State Park to better show his location on the river that day.
You see how thick the woods are? That's why I couldn't see nothing. So right along in here is where I found Micah's belongings at.
He says he found Micah's backpack, glasses, and cell phone on the bank and gave them all to deputies on scene. He says he didn't know Micah and has no reason to lie to police. Johnny Jacobs wants the unfair targeting against him to end.
I want this to stop as far as me. I don't want to make this all about me because I'm still thinking about Micah. I'm trying to respect her family, and I got total respect for them, and I am so sorry for what they're going through. I never thought my day would turn out like that.
Miller has also been bashed on social media for how he ruled Micah's death as a suicide. Now, the North Carolina State Medical Examiner's Office, I reached out to them today to get information on if an autopsy was done on Micah's body, and I am still waiting to learn that answer. Live in Lumber.
Harassing messages on social media in the days following Micah Miller's death. Wednesday by a female pastor there, and police noted the messages were vague, but mentioned canceling the church for its, quote, lies. Myrtle Beach police concluded at the time no harassment had occurred. We reached out to the church for comment about this. No one is answering.
Hey, Micah and their troubled past. Here's what we're learning. She told officers that she and John Paul, her then husband, had been separated since January of 2023, that she has known her husband, who is 14 years her older, since she was 10, that, quote, he groomed her while she worked for him at Solid Rock Church until they were married in 2017. She said her husband stole her car, that she had been hospitalized against her will, that police found a tracking device on her car. Now, in communication with John Paul Miller over text message, he confirmed to me that he was behind that. Quote, I even hired a PI to put trackers on her car to know if she was going to a gun store because she had kept trying to get a gun for the past few months. Adding, I have never once in my entire life ever hurt her in any way, ever. Now, Tim Carter, a friend of Micah and formerly a friend of JP as well, recounts this conversation he had with JP a few years prior. Take a listen.
JP personally called me and said, hey, Micah bought a gun. She's out in the backyard. Well, you think she bought it to shoot me? I don't know, JP. I don't know what's going on in the house that would be a reason. So, this isn't the first time he's tried or that there's been suicide brought up. I get it, and then he was scared, was wondering, do you think she bought it to shoot me? Well, why would that be a question if you wasn't mistreating her?
In March, she posted on Facebook some advice for anyone struggling with leaving an abusive situation. Here she is.
You don't have to stay in a abusive relationship, whether that's sexual, whether that's somebody forcing you to take illegal drugs, or alcohol abuse, or physical abuse, psychological abuse, making you think that this is all your fault, or you're a bad mom, or you're a bad wife, or you're a bad husband, or you're not giving it your all when you know you are.
Micah's father, Michael, posting on Facebook just recently saying, "It's not over. The floodgates are opening. Justice for Micah." Now,
she got the weapon for self-protection. She told me days beforehand, Dad, I really feel like I need a weapon for protection. And she knows how to use it.
A South Carolina church pastor is facing serious scrutiny after his wife's sudden death in a nearby state park. And as new details come to life about her final days, her husband, 16, you can start your claim in less than 10 questions at church in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. And Miller announced, quote, "I got a call late last night that my wife has passed away. It was self-induced and it was up in North Carolina. You all pray for me and my kids." Social media talking about
I'm sorry for putting a picture of you on the internet. It was for the, all right, y'all, let's take a look at this. I'm sorry, I didn't know I was live, but I look, this husband, he wasn't gonna let her out, y'all. He wasn't gonna let her out. She fought to get out. And for her to be over there in the wooded area at that fishing place where nobody can see her, somebody had to drive. They had to take her over in that area. It said, "I am sorry for putting a picture of you on the internet. It was for less than 1 hour and immediately taken down, but it shouldn't have been on that period. I was hurt that you are telling everyone horrible, intimate details of my past sin, and I just wanted to try and hurt you. Please forgive me. It was evil of me to do that." Now, that was her husband said, y'all. My condolences go out to his family, and I hate that Michael had to do this, had to go out this way.
I'm about to kill myself, and I just want my family to know where to find me. Okay, ma'am.
This don't even
Listen to
sound
what
right.
I'm saying, okay? Let me make sure I got the exact location where you're at, okay? Just 1 minute.
We've now learned that the Robeson County FBI investigate Micah's death. Whether the FBI is actually involved yet kind of remains unclear. It may be more. Research indicates that in
He has a
1998,
criminal record, y'all.
Miller entered a no contest plea in Horry County, South Carolina, to a charge of assault and battery of a high and aggravated nature, meaning that Miller did great bodily injury to someone or likely was going to injure someone. He was given 500 hours of community service, was put on probation for several years, and a 4-year prison sentence was suspended. In 2022, South Carolina court records indicate that Miller was pardoned. In 2000, out in Illinois, he apparently pled guilty to aggravated assault.
Abuse.
It's true.
And you are the bride of Christ. And my Bible says that he took all the abuse you could think of for you so that you didn't have to live that life of slavery and bondage and pain.
According to a friend, Micah had left for a different church other than Solid Rock. John Paul gave an interesting, perhaps the best word to describe it is an arguably strange eulogy, different eulogy at the Solid Rock Church, while family members...
But she told me that she was so creative.
Don't even cry right. Listen. crying.
What's the next picture?
Yeah, man, please. That's fake.
She'd stop. We'd be on the way to like a show or something. She said, "Stop! I gotta get a picture." I said, "We're gonna be late." She said, "I don't care." What's the next picture?
People don't even do this.
John Paul also said,
Take a look at this real deal. He said that Pastor, this is what the man, I don't even want to call it her husband. It has come to a light that Michael Miller struggled with mental illness, especially bipolar disorder, which will not properly managed. Why? Led to paranoid episodes and self-destructive behavior. Some reports made by her in the recent past are nonsensical. But let me tell you something. This man drove that girl into this mental illnesses, allegedly. She probably wasn't even nothing like this. He just wasn't going to let her leave. And on the way out is doing what he made her do.
Thank you for having me.
I'm just...
We're struggling. You know, we're more united than ever as a family. You know, this is something that has really caused
Shout out
us
to
to
Sidebar.
drop any little petty arguments or something and focus on what's important at this moment. So, you know, we have grieved off and on, but we've also been in fight mode off and on as far as legally and, you know, and speaking out for Micah. It's there's a lot of details that they did not cover, and because it was equivalent in their eyes to previous self-inflicted wounds, I believe the law allows them to do less work. It does not prevent them from doing more work. And since there were multiple shell casings found and a live round found, it already didn't make much sense. So it would seem that they would automatically do a complete toxicology, not just blood alcohol, and a complete autopsy, which they did not do. And we're just devastated that they didn't, because John Paul rushed the cremation process.
Wow. He did the cremation? He had her cremated? You know what? She wasn't going to get out of this. She wasn't going to make it out of this alive, y'all. He wanted to make sure that she didn't make it out of this. Now, everybody trying to blame the guy who, lucky that the fisherman did find her. Okay? It's lucky. But over there in the woods, we're going to go back and talk about that, okay? We're going to go back to the woods. But I'm going to let the father finish saying this, and then we're going to go back.
We pressed pretty hard for more information and such, and the sheriff's office was trying to compress the briefing for us, and then they gave us a flash drive. It doesn't sound like Micah during the 911 call, slow, and so, you know, but then later there are, I haven't even heard them myself, honestly. I have someone who's going through all that for me and filtering the information, because otherwise, the more information I get that sounds off, the more furious I get, and I need to be able to focus and control my emotions. So, but there was screaming going on and such, and indicative of a self-inflicted. You know, that's sounds like a fight.
This guy right here this fisherman shouldn't be getting attacked. Period. For finding this woman's body. He said he heard a scream. Somebody had to be over in that area. Let's go back in the area where he said he found it.
To 55-year-old Johnny Jacobs today at an undisclosed location in Robeson County. He didn't want me to show his face because he's concerned for his safety after being bashed and targeted on social media.
It's like putting my life in danger with some of the things that's been said.
And I don't understand why y'all attacking that man like that. If it weren't for him and the other people who was out there fishing heard her scream, what are y'all attacking him for? He reported it. But I wouldn't have touched nothing that belongs to her. That's one thing I wouldn't have done. I wouldn't have touched nothing.
Jacobs tells me he'd been fishing for several hours on April 27th at the Lumber River State Park when he heard a faint cry. He says 2 or 3 minutes later, he heard a gunshot.
I said, oh my God, don't tell me. Don't tell me, because the crying had stopped. I said, don't tell me that something's happened. Don't tell me something.
Okay. Only thing I don't understand is how he hear her cry. How he hear her crying from where he is. That's just the only thing I don't understand. And I'm not attacking this man. Okay, real deal. Okay, what I'm saying is I'm not attacking this man. But to hear her cry from where he is, what kind of crying was that? That you can hear somebody crying out that loud. And I'm not blaming him. I'm just saying how he hear her cry. And people used to don't cry when they killing themselves. So somebody had to take that hurt in that area. But let's look at the area where he's singing.
April 27th at the Lumber River State Park when he heard a faint cry. He says 2 or 3 minutes later, he heard a gunshot.
I said, oh my God, don't tell me. Don't tell me, because the crying had stopped. I said, don't tell me that something's happened. Don't tell me something. I was getting ready to get out of
Hold on, y'all. I don't know what the world happened.
there. Another 3 people came into the lake on a boat, and I plainly asked them, I said, did y'all hear that gunshot? They said yes.
Jacob says he couldn't see anything because of all the trees blocking his...
Okay. How is she over in that area?
This here's the park, of course. This is where I put my boat in at.
He showed...
Look, y'all. Look what he's saying. Hold on. Let me rewind this, okay? I'm trying to hold my camera in one hand. Okay, hold on. Let me put this back again.
Because the crying had stopped. I said, don't.
Okay, the crying. He heard crying. Damn, that mean that if she must have been like that. Ah! I mean, what kind of crying was that? You can't hear a person when they crying. Hold on, y'all. I'm sorry. You can't hear nobody when they crying.
Don't tell me that something's happened. Don't tell me something. I was getting ready to get out of there. Another 3 people came into the lake on a boat, and I plainly asked them, I said, did y'all hear that gunshot? They said yes.
Jacob says he couldn't see anything because of all the trees blocking his view.
This here's the park, of course. This is where I put my boat in at.
He showed me a map on his phone of the Lumber River State Park to better show his location on the river that day.
You see how thick the woods are. That's why.
How in the hell did she get in there? Who took her over there? Y'all, I'm going to be honest with you. It's no way in the world a lady will walk in the woods like that. If she was crying, she could have been forced over there. I don't think that she went over there in no woods, not even worry about no snake or nothing biting her. I just don't see her. I think somebody took her over there, you know, and I can think that. Look over there, all them trees.
How come I couldn't see nothing? So right along in here is where I found Micah's belongings at.
He says he found Micah's backpack, glasses, and cell phone on the bank and gave them all to deputies on scene.
Now, I wouldn't have touched nothing belonged to her. Nothing. I wouldn't have gave them police nothing. I would have left everything right there and called them and tell them where my location was. That's me, y'all. But I'm surprised that he even touched that. If he heard a gunshot, he heard somebody crying, he heard a gunshot, I just don't understand why he even touched her belongings. He didn't have to get nothing to the police. He didn't have to get nothing to the detective. They could have let them find her stuff Y'all got to start thinking before y'all do stuff. You know, I'm surprised that he even picked anything that belonged to her. I'm just saying.
He says he didn't know Micah and has no reason to lie to police. Johnny Jacobs wants the unfair targeting against him to end.
I want this to stop as far as me. I don't want to make this all about me because I'm still thinking about Michael. I'm trying to respect her family, and I got total respect for them, and I am so...
Okay, y'all, let's go back to here. First of all, what are y'all saying to attack this man? What did he do? Now, the only thing, I'm not gonna attack him. Period. I'm glad that somebody heard. Where are the other people that heard this loud gunshot? Where's these people? And I'm glad he was out there so he can report this. You know what I mean? You know, I don't see no reason to be attacked by people from social media. I just, and I with him, I wouldn't even do an interview. He shouldn't do an interview. Another interview is gonna start a whole lot of stuff. So, and it's a crime. So I with him, take the focus off of him and put the focus on her husband. Now I look at the diagram that he said where she is. How in the hell did she get over there? How did she get in there, y'all? How did she get over there? They don't think trees. It's somebody that know that area. It's somebody that know that park. And let's go back to the 911 call.
The address of your emergency.
Hi, are you able to trace the location of my phone?
Let me see. You don't know where you're at?
At National Park.
Tell me what's happened.
I'm about to kill myself, and I just want my family.
My thing is, why is Michael doing this backwards? She said she was about to kill herself, and she wanted her family to know where she is. Now, usually, people who are about to kill themselves, harm themselves, will call their family first. Why are they letting her say this? And she could have called her family before she called the 911. They made sure that she would be found. So no reason why y'all should be mad at the fisherman, okay, for finding her. Now, let's finish listening to the call because we're going to break it down.
You know where to find me.
Okay, ma'am. Just listen to what I'm saying, okay? Let me make sure I got the exact location where you're at, okay? Just 1 minute.
We've now learned that the Robeson County Sheriff's Office is requesting that the U.S. Attorney's Office and the FBI investigate Micah's death. Whether the
Okay, y'all, let's look at the timeline that ABC 15 gave us, okay? They said on October the 8th, 2023, Michael and her husband got a filed for a divorce. That was in October of 23. That's the church they filed. They was married back then. Okay. Okay, they said in 2024, February the 8th, the church, Micah involuntary hospitalized for 48 hours. Okay. She tell the officer she has known her husband since she was 10 years old. Wow. What? Where were her family then? Okay, let's look at the report. Let's go back and look at this report. Okay, I'm going to take it back. Okay. Okay, here we go. The report. It says on February the 21st, 2024, I met the complainant at 300 Coast Grand Circle in the city limit of Mirror Beach in references to the report of a stolen vehicle. The CP stated that she has been separated from her husband, that involved others since January of 2023. The CP stated that she was involuntarily hospitalized on February the 8th, 2024. Wow. And left her silver Honda Accord parked in the parking lot of the Walmart neighborhood market located at 3650 Walton Drive. When the CP was discharged from the hospital staff informed her that her husband picked up her purse and car keys while she was hospitalized. So he got everything belongs to her, right? Drugging her up, allegedly. The CP stated that when she was released from the hospital on February 10, 2024, she returned to the Walmart neighborhood market on Walton Drive and discovered her vehicle was gone. The CP believed that her husband fraudulently initiated her involuntary, she just told y'all, hospitalization and stole her car while she was in the hospital. Now, if they gonna through a divorce, why is he around? Okay. So the CV stated that she has known her husband since she was 10. And he groomed her while she worked for him at a Solid Rock church until they was married 6 years ago. Now, her family should have known about this. Okay, and it went on and said something else. Okay, let's go on. Okay, the IO stated that the CP experiences episodes on an annual basis. Okay, near Christmas when she becomes reckless and spends large amount of money when she stops taking her prescribed medication. It seems like I don't want to read no more of this because I'm getting kind of upset because it's like she forced into doing some of this stuff. That's what it sounds like. And I don't want to get into that, so I'm going to let y'all read that right there. And she over in Africa, and this was March the 11th, 2024. This year, y'all. Okay, and that's the beautiful Michael. Probably praying for her life. Now, on March the 13th, 2024, that's when she was over at that Solid Rock Market. Okay, let me put my little thing up there so I can read. Okay, on Saturday, April the 27th, account Michael at Myrtle Beach South, and there she go getting money out the bank, out the pawn shop, and doing all that. She like a happy girl right there. Okay, that's her in the car. She pulled up, go in the store. 2:54 p.m. Wow, now she over at Lumber River State Park. From the gas station and said that she planned to end her own life. Tell me what's happening. I'm about to kill myself. Hold on for a minute, because this is the 911 call. Hold on. Let me let y'all hear the 911 call.
Says she plans to end her own life.
Tell me what's happened.
I'm about to kill myself. And I just want my family to know where to find me.
3:03 p.m. Deputies with the Sheriff's Office head to Lumber River State Park, contact the park rangers, and begin a search within 30 minutes. Specialized units searching for Micah from the air are deployed. 3:50 p.m. Detectives are approached by someone fishing in the area who says they heard crying followed by a gunshot. They also found a bag a few feet from the water's edge with Micah's ID inside of it. 4:23 p.m. A kayaker in the area calls 911 to report a body in the water. A perimeter is created to secure the area for an investigation. Within the hour, the chief of detectives arrives and the medical examiner is called. 5:54 p.m. Crime scene investigation technician begins taking photos of the area, and they found Micah's car. Inside the car, investigators found a gun case in the passenger seat and ammunition in the center console. The receipt for the weapon and her gas station stop are found. 7:11 p.m. A gun is discovered in the water at the park. Its serial number matches the case found in Micah's car. Tuesday, May 2nd, 2024. John Paul Miller sits down with WPDE for an interview. During the interview, he mentioned some of the struggles he felt Micah had with mental health.
So, over the years since we've been married, some people struggle with high blood pressure, some struggle with diabetes, or struggle with mental health. And whenever she stayed on her lithium, things were amazing. She'd come off sometimes, and things would be a little unusual. For her doctor,
He can't even look at the man straight in there.
Had written that she was homicidal, suicidal, and she had struggled with suicide before. And each time, helped her through it, took her to her doctor, and we got through it. Everything was fine. So this past time was still a shock, an incredible shock.
Sunday, May 5th, 2024. Friends and family rally outside Solid Rock Church. Some in Micah's family dispute the manner of death described by her estranged husband.
This has to be at least looked into deeply. There's got to be some accountability here.
Okay, y'all, what do y'all think? What are you thinking? What are you thinking right here? I mean, he can't even look at the news people straight in the eye. Why he just couldn't let her go? He stressed her out, y'all. Y'all tell me what y'all think in the comment section, okay? My condolences go to her family. And if if you have a problem with you going through something like that, reach out to somebody, okay? Because it sounded like they didn't want her to reach out to her family first. Because she would have reached out to the family and the family would have talked to her. And then by her being 10 years old at a church like that, why is he around her anyway? I'm out of here, y'all.